It was a bustling morning at Lax Airport, with travelers rushing to their gates and the aroma of freshly brewed coffee wafting through the terminal. Among the crowd, Brad Pitt strolled casually, dressed in a black hoodie, sunglasses, and jeans, blending in as much as a Hollywood star could. He was on his way to a film festival in Europe, eager to escape the chaos of the tabloids and enjoy a quieter journey. As Brad navigated through the terminal, he noticed a young man sitting alone near Gate 34, staring intently at his laptop. The young man, probably in his early 20s, was surrounded by a mess of papers, storyboards, and what looked like a makeshift script. His tousled hair and wrinkled shirt suggested he had been working for hours, maybe even overnight. Brad's curiosity was piqued. The actor grabbed a coffee and sat a few seats away, observing the young man's fervent energy. The young man named Ethan occasionally muttered to himself, flipping between sketches and his laptop screen. Something about Ethan's determination reminded Brad of his early days in Hollywood, when dreams were bigger than resources and every opportunity felt like a lifeline. As the boarding call for their flight echoed through the terminal, Brad decided to approach him. "Hey there," Brad said, his voice calm and friendly. Ethan looked up, startled. "You look like you're working on something intense. Mind if I ask what it is?" Ethan's eyes widened as he recognized the familiar face. You're Brad Pitt," he stammered. Brad smiled. "Guilty as charged, so what's got you so focused?" Ethan hesitated before responding. "It's a short film I've been working on. It's kind of my passion project. I'm heading to a small film festival to pitch it, but I'm still refining the script." Brad's interest deepened. "A filmmaker, huh? What's the story about?" Ethan relaxed slightly, sensing Brad's genuine curiosity. "It's about a small-town kid who dreams of becoming an astronaut. He builds a rocket in his backyard to prove to himself and everyone else that dreams are worth chasing. It's personal, inspired by my own journey trying to make it in the film industry." Brad nodded, impressed by the passion in Ethan's voice. "That sounds incredible. Do you mind showing me some of your work?" Ethan hesitated, then handed Brad his laptop. The actor watched a few clips, appreciating the raw talent and heartfelt storytelling. Despite the low-budget production, the creativity and effort were undeniable. "This is really good, Ethan," Brad said after a moment. "You've got something special here. Have you thought about how you're going to pitch it?" Ethan sighed. "Not really. I mean, I've rehearsed what to say, but I'm not sure it'll be enough. These festivals are competitive, and I don't have any big connections." Brad leaned back, thinking, "Connections help, sure, but what really matters is your story and how much you believe in it. If you can make them feel what you just made me feel, they'll see your potential." The boarding announcement interrupted their conversation, and the two stood up to board the plane. Coincidentally, their seats were close to each other, giving them more time to talk during the flight. Brad shared anecdotes from his early career, the auditions, the rejections, and the moments that shaped him as an actor. Ethan listened intently, soaking in every word. Mid-flight, Brad pulled out a notepad and began jotting down ideas. "Let's work on your pitch," he said. Together, they crafted a concise and compelling presentation that highlighted the heart of Ethan's story. Brad even acted out parts of the pitch, much to Ethan's amusement and amazement. By the time the plane landed, Ethan felt a newfound confidence. "Thank you, Mr. Pitt. I don't know how to repay you for this." Brad placed a hand on Ethan's shoulder. "Just promise me one thing. When you make it big, pay it forward. Help someone else chasing their dream." Ethan nodded, his eyes shining with determination. "I promise." A few days later, Ethan stood nervously in front of a panel of judges at the film festival. Armed with the pitch he had refined with Brad's help, he poured his heart into his presentation. As he spoke, he noticed the judges leaning forward, captivated by his passion and vision. When he finished, there was a moment of silence before the panel erupted in applause. Ethan's film was not only accepted into the festival, but also won an award for Best Emerging Filmmaker. The recognition opened doors he had never imagined, leading to new opportunities and collaborations. Months later, Ethan's short film premiered at a prestigious event where Brad Pitt sat proudly in the audience. As the credits rolled, Ethan took the stage to thank everyone who had supported him. Looking directly at Brad, he said, "To the man who believed in me when I was just another kid with a dream, thank you for changing my life." The crowd erupted in applause, and Brad couldn't help but smile. For him, moments like this were what truly defined success, not the awards or fame, but the chance to inspire and uplift others. But the story didn't end there. As Ethan's career took off, he never forgot Brad's advice to pay it forward. He began mentoring aspiring filmmakers, hosting workshops, and sharing his journey to inspire others. His workshops became a haven for dreamers, fostering a new generation of storytellers. One day, while running a workshop, Ethan noticed a young girl sitting at the back of the room, scribbling furiously in a notebook. Her name was Mia, and she reminded Ethan of himself at the airport years ago, hungry for a chance, filled with ideas but unsure of how to start. Ethan took her under his wing, guiding her through the process of creating her first short film. Ethan watched with pride as Mia's film premiered at the same festival where his own journey had begun. During her acceptance speech, Mia looked at Ethan and said, "To the person who saw my potential when I couldn't see it myself, thank you for believing in me." Meanwhile, Brad continued to follow Ethan's career from afar. They occasionally exchanged emails, with Ethan sharing updates and thanking Brad for his guidance. One day, Brad received a package from Ethan. Inside was a DVD of Ethan's latest film, along with a handwritten note, "This story wouldn't exist without you. Thank you for everything." Brad watched the film that evening, tears welling up as he saw how Ethan had poured his heart into the story. It was a tale of hope, mentorship, and the ripple effect of kindness, an ode to the moment that changed his life. Years later, Ethan and Brad reunited at an awards gala. Ethan, now a celebrated filmmaker, was being honored for his contributions to the industry. As he accepted his award, he spotted Brad in the audience and smiled. "This is for all the dreamers out there," Ethan said, "and for the people who remind us that sometimes all it takes is one person to believe in you." The audience erupted in applause, and Brad stood, clapping with pride. In that moment, he knew he had made a difference, not just in Ethan's life, but in the countless lives Ethan had touched, and that, he realized, was the true power of storytelling. But the story still wasn't over. Ethan's work began to gain international recognition, and one of his films was shortlisted for an Academy Award. He invited Brad to the ceremony as his guest of honor. During the event, Ethan found himself seated among some of the most influential names in the film industry, but he couldn't help glancing at Brad, the man who had sparked it all. After the ceremony, Ethan pulled Brad aside. "None of this would have happened if you hadn't taken the time to talk to me that day," Ethan said earnestly. "You didn't just change my career, you changed my life." Brad shook his head with a modest smile. "You had it in you all along, Ethan. I just helped you see it." Ethan's latest project was a full-length feature film inspired by their chance meeting at the airport. The film followed a struggling artist who, through an unexpected encounter with a mentor, finds the courage to pursue their dreams. Brad agreed to play the mentor role, bringing their real-life story full circle. When the film premiered, it received a standing ovation. Critics praised it as a heartfelt masterpiece, and audiences were moved by its universal message of hope, perseverance, and the importance of human connection. Ethan and Brad stood side by side on stage, taking in the applause together. As they left the stage, Ethan turned to Brad and said, "What do you think? Did we do the story justice?" Brad smiled. "More than justice, Ethan. We reminded people why stories matter." And this brings us to the end of this extended story. Thank you for watching till the end. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring tailies. See you in the next one.